Hello guys, welcome to my channel Made in Mother Russia. Today is Saturday the 28th, I think. Let me check. Yeah, today is Saturday the 28th and the time is about 4 p.m. So basically this is part 2 of the 10th subscriber questions. And so yeah, today I'm actually next to Metro Kurskaya. I came to take care of some business. I've been wearing these glasses for the past 4 years and I just came to make a checkup to see if I need to increase my lenses. But one of the facts that I came to find out today is that due to all these sanctions, to get a new brand frame actually it's quite difficult, because most of the frames, if you want to get some brand name like Ray-Bans, Gucci, Tom Ford, whatever type of brand you want to get, Cartier, you need to order it, order the frames, and this will take about 4 weeks. And the problem is, I wanted to do the same because the frame I wanted actually it's not in the country currently, in Russia, so that will take 4 weeks. But I decided not to do it. I decided to come to the optica, whatever you call it in English, to actually try on the brands, the frames that they have in stock. Because ordering frames without testing them is quite risky, because you might end up not liking them. They might be too large or whatever. Yeah, so basically that's it. So now I want to answer the 10 questions. Actually, the 5 questions left. This is part 2. And I have my list, guys. I hope you remember it. And the 6th question for today is from the subscribers. Is it expensive to live in Russia? That's question number 6. So to answer this, I have to be truthful. It depends, it depends. Let me start with just the normal things like food. Comparing from where I'm from, food here is actually very, very cheap. That's one thing that Russia actually does great, and the citizens should always appreciate this fact, is that food is very cheap. And comparing from where I'm from, it's like 4 times more expensive. More cheaper here. And even amazing, just things like bananas, fruits. I'm from Africa, and I know from where I'm from actually, people think that bananas will be cheaper, but they're actually cheaper here in Russia. And I know the reason why is because Russia has a great demand, and when it gets those fruits from Venezuela or whatever, from those countries, they get them at a very good price, So basically, food here in Russia, the whole of Russia, as a matter of fact, is very cheap. Of course, if you go to some other regions, specific type of foods are more expensive than the ones you'll find here in Moscow. But generally, food is very cheap because it's available, You don't see people starving here in Russia at all. So the food is very cheap. The variety is quite huge, You have all the different types of food that you want. You can find them here in Mother Russia. So that's talking about the food. And by the way, Russia is a big exporter of food actually. It's self-sufficient. It provides its own food, various types of foods. So that's talking about the food. If we talk about, for example, the the living costs, like apartments, accommodation, and all those type of things, it depends. For example, here in Moscow, I can really say it's expensive, you know, because if you want to live, Moscow is actually divided into, let me say, into parts. Let me cross the road, guys. Moscow is divided into specific sections, you know. The closer you come to the center, the more expensive it is, of course, and that's expectable. That's expectable. Guys, I'm actually crossing the road, so I'm watching my, see? I'm minding my step. So as I was saying, the cost of living, especially here closer in part of Moscow in the center, for example, a one-bedroom apartment will cost you about 65,000 rubles. Even a studio can cost you about 65,000 rubles, you know, per month. And the average salary here in Moscow, I think, is about 40,000 rubles. So imagine, or maybe 50,000, and I mean that's for the lowest paying job. So imagine you're getting 40,000 to 50,000 rubles, but you have to pay for an apartment that costs a one-bedroom apartment, or even a studio, 25 square meters or 45 square meters, and you have to pay 65,000 rubles. I think that's very expensive. And even if you go outside of Moscow, the Moscow regions, whereby like 20 kilometers out of Moscow, there the prices are a little bit lower, because they're a little bit lower, but still they are expensive, you know, because that also depends on the basic salary, the average salary that people get in those regions. So basically, in total, what I want to say is that it depends where you are from. If you are living in another city far away, not a big known city like a major city like Moscow, St. Petersburg, of course the prices might be cheap, you know. But in the major cities, the prices are, I can say, the prices are expensive, and it all depends also. So yeah, that's what I can say about is it expensive living in Moscow? I mean in Russia. It depends. And if I was to, but if you are having a good job, if you can manage, you know, it's manageable, because at the end of the day, the salaries, I mean the salaries that people get here, they manage, you know, they're able to manage. And even walking around Moscow, I mean, people look okay, they don't look bad. Of course, there are some places whereby people look super rich, but I mean, living is okay, it's fine, you know. I can say it's okay. It's a 50-50 situation. So guys, I hope that answer satisfies your question. The next question is, are Russian people welcoming? What about the culture? Yeah, so okay, let me be honest, Russian people, as I have mentioned before, Russian people can be very cold, you know. They don't show emotions, and when they do show emotions, they're actually quite honest, you know, so they don't bullshit around. But in general, overall, Russian people are very, very welcoming, so long as you respect their culture, try to fit in, and try to fit in, I mean, don't be ignorant, you know. Don't come here in Russia speaking English everywhere, thinking that your language, for example, is superior. They do actually appreciate those people who try, even with errors. They really, really do appreciate it. And that's because they are honest people, you know. So in general, Russia is welcoming. Russia and Russians are welcoming also. But at the same time, Russians, they don't fool around, you know. You need to be you need to know that you are a guest. Even though I'm staying here in Russia for a couple of years, I still know that I'm a guest, you know, and I still need to respect the rules, the culture, and I mean just to fit in, you know. And of course, as you can see, let me show you guys. As you can see, people are going about their daily business, living their daily lives. So if you want to come to Russia, this is the advice I have for you guys. Learn a little bit of the language, learn a little bit of the culture, forget the stereotypes, the fake news, forget the propaganda, and just know that Russia, so long as you respect culture of everybody, because you must understand that not only Russians live in Russia. Actually, we are all Russians. But, and that was a joke, guys. What I'm trying to say is that Russia has a variety of different races, different people, different foods, different shades of color. So, and they are all trying to fit in. And by that I'm trying to say that forget the stereotypes, try to fit in where you belong, and Russia will love you back as long as you respect and treasure their culture, and not trying to be special. Russia will love you back just the same way. So the next question, guys, is what surprised me most when I first arrived in Russia? I mean, guys, that's quite obvious, you know. The first surprise that I had was, of course, the cold. It was a cultural shock to me, you know. It was cold. So the cold was my first surprise. Secondly, what surprised me was the vast architectural landscape. By that I mean that, no, there were some buildings that were super ugly. I'm sorry to say so, guys. And by super ugly, I'm not saying ugly, but I just mean that some buildings here in Russia, in Moscow, they are so neutral, you know. They don't speak anything. They are just so bold. And by that I mean most of the Soviet buildings. It's just like a big block of concrete with two windows. And for me, it's not beautiful at all. But at the same time, you see this type of buildings. Let me show you guys. You see this? These are European type of buildings, you know. You feel yourself like you're in Europe. You know, they like to say Russia is not Europe, but I mean, this is Europe. And to show you the architecture, you see this beautiful? So for me, the weather was a surprise. The architecture, I mean the building styles, was a surprise, a big shock actually. But the most thing that intrigued me was actually the transportation system. I think the transportation system in Russia is second to none, and I'm talking about specifically the metro system. You know, back when I came here for the first time, there was only the metro system. Of course, I'm not talking about the roads, but the underground system. And when we used to go to our campus, for example, one thing I've realized about the metro system is that here in Russia, it never disappoints. It's always on time. It's like a clockwork, you know. It's always on time. If you even are late for a minute, not even a minute, let me say a second, your whole day might be ruined, or you might be set back to about 2 hours. So the main thing is that the transportation system is reliable and it's very advanced, especially when I came back to Russia. Now they've incorporated the underground system with the they've incorporated the underground system with the top system, railway system, you know. And I mean, it's so convenient, and it's like the people who first designed the metro system in the 1950s. It's like they had a forward thinking that one day Moscow will be so large that we might, and it will have a big population where we'll have to incorporate the underground with the top part of the transportation system. I mean, it's just so amazing, guys. Trust me when I'm saying so. And it covers kilometers. You can be sitting in the metro railway system for hours. Trust me, guys. I'll give you the total length later of the whole system, you know. So that's a transportation system. And the other thing that I want to say is that people are very helpful here, and that's one thing that also I was quite shocked. You know, when I came to Moscow, to Russia for the first time, the population, you know, the number of people were it's just so many people, you know. But even though you were trying to navigate yourself through the city, and you were to ask somebody for help, for directions, people were so forthcoming, you know, welcoming to explain to you. Even though by that time I remember there was for me, for example, there was a big problem with the language, but people were trying to even come out of their shells and speak the little English or the little French they had for you. And that for me was a big surprise. That was question number 8. Okay, the last question is number 9. Before I go to question number 9, let me go into this shopping mall and see what they are here. Probably I can find a place for some tea. I'll have a sit down and discuss the rest with you guys. Yeah, so guys, I'm in this shopping mall. Let me find a place, So that's where I'm going to sit. I found a small coffee shop here, or coffee stand. I'm going to buy myself a coffee, and then I'll talk about the last 2 questions. Yes, so basically, I wanted to talk about my questions that I prepared, the questions that you guys gave me. And the 9th question is actually, what do I miss from my home country after coming to Russia? Excuse me, guys, I'm trying to open up this straw. Basically, who drinks hot drinks with straws? Only when I came to Russia, I found people drinking actually hot beverages with straws. It's a little bit strange, but here goes, guys. As I have told you before, you have to try to fit in, So let me taste this, guys. Молоко bobo. Wow, nice. Tastes like ice cream, actually. Nice. Okay, guys. The 9th question is, what do I miss from my home country? Okay, I mean, home is always going to be home. I cannot deny that. Home will always be home. Basically, what I miss from my home is, and don't get me wrong, guys, when I'm in Russia right now, I do feel myself at home. I do feel myself 100% comfortable. But there's always that You know, when you come from home, from work, when you come from work, when you just reach home, you have a different type of stress relief, comfortability, you know, that feeling, specific spark, I miss it, you know, that wow, I'm at home, and by that I mean the air smells different, that is what I miss. Of course, I do miss some type of foods that I'm used to, because even though in Russia they have a big variety of food, sometimes I feel like eating some traditional homemade food from my country that I really miss a lot. So yeah, I miss some type of home vibe. I miss foods, certain type of foods. But that takes nothing from Russia, guys. Russia still provides me with everything I need. It provides me with the comfort, the safety. So that's the only thing I can say I miss, but I still I can live without it. Without what I miss, I still can live without it. It's not a big issue. But I do miss it sometimes. I do miss some type of food sometimes. Very nice. Okay, guys. Question number 10 from you, the subscribers, is what advice would I give to foreigners thinking moving to Russia? So as I have stated before when I was on the street, learn a little bit of the Russian culture, learn a little bit of the Russian language. That will make things much easier for you. And forget the hype, the stereotypes that are coming from the propaganda outlets, news, and other people. Come and experience it for yourself. And be prepared, Know that you are coming to a different country with its own culture, with its own people, experiences, foods. Just know that you are coming from your world to another world. If you do that, you will be feeling right at home. And you must be patient, be respectful, and I promise you, Russia will open up its arms for you. And everything will just fall in place like water, Especially for me, for example, you must understand that definitely I'm very different from even the different type of people I found here in Russia. But due to the fact that I accept my reality, and I accept that I'm in Russia right now, living here, working here, I fit in to get in, So basically, I feel quite comfortable. I feel quite at home. Look at me right now. I'm in some shopping mall, vlogging. People are all around me. Nobody's disturbing me. As long as I'm respectful, everything will be okay. And by the way, guys, Burger King, I don't know if it's still in Russia or it's officially here in Russia or it has left, but you can see Burger King, guys. I want just to say that those brands, they are trying to patent, to register their brands back here in Russia. They do want to come back. That's a side note. Okay, guys. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that I hope you love the vlog, and those are all the 10 questions that are from the subscribers. The first question is, where am I from? Number 2 is, what am I doing here in Russia? Number 3 is, how is the weather and how do I find it? Number 4 is, what do I like about Russia? Number 5 is it safe here in Russia? Very safe. Is it expensive to live in Russia? It depends, but just like in any other country, you have to make it, and try to work hard so you can live comfortable, of course. Are Russian people welcoming? What about the culture? So as I've answered, they are very welcoming. What surprised me the most when I first arrived in Russia? The weather, the transport, the architecture. What do I miss from my home country? Certain foods, of course, and so on. And what advice do I give to foreigners thinking to moving to Russia? Learn how to speak Russian. Нужно узнать и изучать русский язык. Okay? Just know the language. You can have some few phrases like "Привет", "Как дела", "Где туалет", "Где метро". Just some simple phrases, you know. It's okay. It will help you. It will take you a long way. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Share with your friends and put a like. You know, even a like or a dislike to still help my channel. Thank you, guys. Made in Mother Russia.